What's going on, guys? So I wanted to redo this video, albeit this time with the presentation, which I didn't do in the last video. In this video, we're going to be talking about why hypnosis is the single most powerful tool out there in existence for manifestation. The tool is backed by science, and it's what allows you to reprogram your mind, literally become a different person on the identity level, allowing you to become richer, more confident, more focused, get rid of your limiting beliefs, whatever it is. This is a tool. I actually teach people how to hypnotize themselves alongside being a hypnotherapist for high performers and high earners and so on and so forth. It's a long journey. But anyway, I teach people how to hypnotize themselves. I teach people how to rewire their own mind. And I'm going to walk you through why it's such a powerful tool and the context behind hypnosis. So hypnosis, many people are introduced to it through stage hypnotism, and it's kind of given it a bad rep. But let's get into why hypnosis is such a powerful tool. I like this picture of the brain because it reminds me, number one, that it's fluid. Number two, that it is infinitely powerful. And that number three, everything is connected. Everything, number four, starts in the mind. If you can change the mind, you can change your reality. If you can change your mind, you can change all things. All things that we experience stems from the mind. So if you've ever looked and observed children, they are dreamers, right? They have an incredible imagination and a boundless intuition. They're just so tapped in with what's going on in their head. It's almost like they're daydreaming, right? They're seeing monsters and they think that they're heroes and they think that they can fly and power up and all these things. Children are essentially in a state of hypnosis. And over time, that calcifies, our brain calcifies, and we become set in our ways. But really, and this is science, from ages 0 to 7, we are in a state of hypnosis. We know this because in a state of hypnosis, we enter a trance. Our brain waves slow down to what are theta waves. And children's brains are in this same brainwave state as well. In this stage of our lives, we experience rapid change, and this is when we actually form our identity. So this is when we understand who we are relative to ourselves, the people around us, and the world. The things, people, and places we grow up around are what we use to form our identity. So the environment we grew up around, the possessions we have, the access to money we have, the people, our parents, the people who raise us, our family, our siblings, our friends, all these allow us to start to piece together who we are in the way that we personally process it. Now, this is why I say personally, because two siblings can grow up in the same household, same environment, same parents, and have two completely different upbringings and sets of experiences. So the people, places, and things are what allow us to form our identity. This is why what you tell a child is so important. Children are very, very malleable, very sensitive to the instructions they're being given because we're essentially programming children. Children are very susceptible to programming. This is why you got to be very careful with what they watch, right? And going back to the first diagram here, the mind, the brain is a computer. And when you start to look at it in that way, you start to realize that you can program your brain, or the brain can program itself to reach a specific goal, a specific destination, right? So if your goal is to be a millionaire, you can literally program your brain to do so in terms of the habits you need, in terms of the deep-seated subconscious beliefs you need to get there, right? The brain, you are not the brain. And it's hard to grasp that. And the easiest way I learned to do it, and that I help my clients do it, is to just view the brain as a computer and feed it the right kind of inputs. If hypnosis wasn't such a powerful tool, all of these advertisers and media companies and social media companies would not be trying to get you into a state of hypnosis. They try and get you into a state of hypnosis because they know that when you are there, you are more easily susceptible to their programming. Look at people on their phones. right? They're scrolling through their phones. It's almost like they are zombies, like they're in a state of hypnosis, which they are, because when you are scrolling through TikTok or Instagram, take in that you literally forget how much time you lose time. You lose your sense of time. You forget how long you spent on that application, right? And so you're essentially just in a state of hypnosis. And in that state, what happens? You go deeper and deeper into the algorithm. And when you start to look at the comments, you become more and more susceptible to believing what's in the comments. And this is how people become radicalized, either to the left or to the right or deeper into their own set of beliefs. You are being hypnotized right now. It's all about who is casting that dream, who is putting you in that hypnosis. Is it you intentionally? Are you intentionally curating the content you're consuming? Or is someone else, i.e. the algorithm, doing that for you? You are being told what to think and how to feel at every moment in time until the moment comes where you close your laptop or you turn the TV off or you turn your phone off and turn it upside down and decide who you want to be. Decide the direction you want to go in. Decide how you want to feel, and then purposely pick and curate the content, the people, and the places that you consume and engage with to align with that. That is how you hypnotize yourself for success at a very high level. And then, of course, there's the actual technique to it. Getting into that, so hypnosis, self-hypnosis, is about programming your own mind. It's about taking back control. This is all a fight for control of the mind of the common people. This is all a fight to control the mind of the common people. And when you learn how to hypnotize yourself, when you start to intentionally work with a mentor, work with a coach, join communities that are aligned with your success, you start to take control back of your life, of your time, of how you want to feel every day, of the money you want to make, so on and so forth. And that is what I teach people how to do, how to take back control of their own mind. Because imagine you were using a computer that you couldn't control, but instead of just a computer, you're in a virtual reality, but you could not control what's happening, or at least the theme of what's happening. That's what happens with a lot of people. They live their entire lives on autopilot. They know what they want, or they know the kind of lifestyle they want, but they have no control over the player or of what happens in the game. That's the lives that most people will live and die with. So let's get a little bit into the science of this thing. So I told you that your brain is a computer. Imagine this as your brain running on different levels. Gamma waves being like the most intense level, and delta waves being your computer is essentially asleep. You put your computer to sleep to save power or whatever, or to recharge. Then from gamma waves, it goes down to beta waves, alpha waves, theta waves, and delta waves, which is essentially you're deeply asleep. These are the brain waves that our brain, right now, your brain is experiencing at different moments of the day, depending on what you are doing. And like I said before, you can intentionally put your brain in one of these states, gamma waves or delta waves. And this is what also happens naturally, but here we are learning to master the mind. When we say learning to master the mind, we are programming it. We are intentionally moving it through either one of these states. When it comes to hypnosis, we are putting ourselves in the theta wave state. When I am hypnotizing someone, I'm getting them to a point of relaxation where they are essentially in a theta wave state, and then I keep them there. The theta wave state is so important is because this is the state we were in as kids primarily. We spent a large portion of our day with our brains in a theta wave state, right? So brain waves, right? Theta waves. In this state, we are highly, highly suggestible, meaning that if I told you that you were strong or handsome or pretty, you would deeply believe that and deeply internalize that, and that would become part of your identity that you look to reinforce. You should write this next part down, that we as humans seek to reinforce our deepest beliefs about ourselves and the world. We subconsciously reinforce the deepest beliefs we hold about ourselves and the world. So in the theta wave state, the reason why it's important to get my clients there, or my patients and yourself, is because this is when the deepest, most effective, profound change occurs. This is where we plant the seeds for change. And then when we get out of a theta wave state and back to the beta wave or the gamma, we look to reinforce. Subconsciously, we're not even mindful of doing it. We look to reinforce what was planted in our mind, right? The theta wave state is the same state you are in when you are dreaming. When you're sleeping, you're dreaming, or when you're daydreaming, right? And when you're dreaming, consider the fact that when you are dreaming, we've all had these dreams where we fall off a balcony or a cliff, and then we wake up in cold sweats and our heart is racing. Yeah, the same thing happens in hypnosis, meaning there are physical effects that come with hypnosis. I can hypnotize you. You can hypnotize yourself. To imagine you're on a very beautiful beach on a very hot summer day and you'll start sweating, but you'll also start smiling. Your brain cannot tell the difference between the past and the future. So that is why PTSD is even a thing, because when you think about a traumatic event, your heart starts to race, your stress hormones start to release, cortisol, all of these things. You start to get tense, anxious, nervous. That is literal PTSD. Your brain cannot tell the difference. And so hypnosis is about putting you in the state of what it feels like to be the person you need to be successful, what success feels like to you on a physical and mental level. So what happens is you're calibrating yourself to that. Now, when I say calibrating, I mean when you come out of hypnosis, you start acting in a way subconsciously, you're not even aware of it, where it leads you closer and closer to success. You are building out this reality in real time. You'll start to lose an appetite for things that are out of alignment, and you'll start to gain an appetite for things that are in alignment, people that are in alignment, places that are in alignment with who you need to be. So self-hypnosis is about remembering these states and putting yourself there, whether it's through meditation or the actual practice of self-hypnosis, planting the seeds via affirmations of who you want to be, which we build for you, I build for my patients, right? And then you spend anywhere between 5 and 20 minutes, once or twice a day, and programming that into your brain, repeating it to yourself while you're walking through your visualization. You're talking to and from your visualization. You're talking to your visualization long enough so that to the point where when you're out of hypnosis, you are talking from your visualization, meaning you are the person. Even though everybody else can't see it, you are the person that is, you're the millionaire version of you now, and you are just talking. You're executing until your external reality matches what is in your internal reality. And then from there, everything slowly collapses in time, and you become that millionaire version of you. That is the quantum leap process. Now, I always wrap this back around to money, because money matters. And the thing to grasp about money right now, especially if you aren't where you want to be, you will get there. But the thing to grasp about money right now is that money is just an energy exchange. When you're exchanging money, really you're exchanging energy, right? And people have tough times getting money because they're blocking themselves. Nobody's blocking you. It's always we are blocking ourselves for some reason, either in the form of we're scared to ask, we don't feel worthy of asking, we don't feel worthy of providing a service, we're too self-centered. Money is just an energy exchange, and wealth is just a feeling. Therefore, if you can hypnotize yourself to feel wealthy every day, I can guarantee you will amass massive amounts of wealth, probably sooner than you thought. So let's play it out. And this is the hypnosis piece, is, well, how does it feel to be wealthy for you? Because it feels different for everybody. Does it feel normal? Does it feel great every day? Does it feel tiresome? All of these things. Self-hypnosis is about feeling that feeling intensely, and that is how we calibrate our brain to become wealthy. Stay in a stream for long enough and you will find gold. Stay in the stream of being the best version of yourself and you will find gold. I always say that the outcomes take time because we live in a 3D reality, but you can become the person you need to be to get that outcome overnight. Self-hypnosis for 1 to 2 times a day will get you the rapid change you are looking for. This is what I teach in the Quantum Leap Academy. Link in the description to join. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm out. Peace.